Hi, hey, hello, kumusta? It's Joseph Savannah. Welcome to this podcast. Thank you for being here, and I hope you have a wonderful day ahead of you. With that being said, get your cups and thoughts ready as we brew your random dose of coffee and the psyche. Obviously, I'll start this off with what happened to me this week. Back in the Philippines, I used to get my nails done almost every month. It's one of the self care routines that I like doing because it helps me become presentable for work and it makes me look put together even how stressed I am or busy. Anyways, per month for a nail extension or end design, it only costs less than 1,000 pesos. And that's already for both pedicure and manicure. However, a nail session here is for me impractical because not only is it expensive, but I also don't really need it. So, I started learning how to do my own fake nails, my gel acrylic fake nails on myself. And it is honestly time consuming because I don't have a big UV lamp. I use the single UV lamp. So imagine doing the gel polish and then curing it with a singular UV lamp. So it's just very time consuming. And I've been looking for other ways on how to have a nice looking nail without spending too much until I finally decided to go back to trying press ons. It's not something new to me because I was a press on girly during the pandemic era. Press on from Shopee were my thing. And now I'm back at it. As you besties can see, these are my Fred Meyer press on nails. They are $9 for two boxes. So that's a steal. And I think I have this for like almost 2 weeks now. So this is a reminder that you don't need to seek for the most professional session or professional treatment to look presentable because you can always and always do it yourself. Now on to our topic. By the time this episode is up, Thanksgiving is done and it would be Black Friday already. This is going to be my first Thanksgiving because the Philippines doesn't really have a Thanksgiving holiday, nor do we have a Black Friday. So, right after Halloween, the store shelves here in the US are full of holiday gifts and holiday decor. The promos say perfect for the holidays. And most of the retail shops are going on sale in preparation for Christmas gift giving. This is probably one of the similar traits that Asian and American culture has. It's how we celebrate Christmas through Santa Claus and gift giving. But I think what sets them utterly apart is how the US is very thoughtful on gift giving. They take it very seriously, especially those in the lower 48 states. While in the Philippines, what we take seriously is our loved ones being home for Christmas. And that's the culture I grew up in, the tradition I really cherish. Now, this particular tradition has helped me in honoring presents more than presents, the intangible more than the tangible, the immaterial more than the material stuff. For example, my sister and I, even when my parents were doing well financially, my father was alive and working, my mother was a housewife, but at the same time managed her own business. We were doing okay. We were in a middle income household and we were doing financially okay. We can eat, study, play, and we were fortunate. But one practice that our parents did in terms of raising us is we were only allowed to buy a new stuff during Christmas season. In short, we were only allowed to get new stuff once a year aside from the back to school shopping for necessities. They raised us to always put our needs first before our wants. Plus, unless it's broken and cannot be repaired, we cannot buy a new one. Of course, at the back of my head, back then when I was an adolescent, when I was a teenager, I'd feel bad because, first of all, my papa was a seafarer. If you come from a small city where almost everyone knows everybody, it was considered a big deal. It was an old school mindset that once you have a seafarer in your family, you're rich. Nuh. Second of all, my I saw my mama getting sales because of her business. She has suki or patrons who always go to her, especially during the Christmas season with all the Christmas parties and gift and exchange gifts. So, in my mind, we had a solid income because both of them are generating income. Now, I'd feel bad because I want something and I still have to do something good just to get it, like get good grades. It has to be in the form of a reward. Be a good daughter, be a good student. I just can't have it just because I want it. To add to that, whenever Papa comes home off board, he gives us just one gift. That's it. Only one request, only one gift as a reward for being a good student, being a good daughter all year round. So, in short, all our report cards, all our distinction, all our achievements was accumulated into this one single gift. It was something that made me resentful though, even back then. I felt bad, yes, but it was just an in the moment feeling. At the end of the day, I don't know what and how our parents, especially mama, did to shift our mindset and make us grateful of their presence instead of feeling jealous with others. I do think that this type of parenting is pretty common, especially with Filipino parents, and it is something I do want to live by once I have my own kids. We didn't really have birthday presents, graduation presents, and Christmas presents ended when I was 7 when I found out about you know who. So, in short, my family wasn't really big on giving presents. What we are big though, especially mama. Mama has such a big mouth. We are big on showing up. No matter how busy it might be and a loss of an income towards her business, she'd close down the store for a few hours or the whole day just so she can watch my English declamation contest or my sister's ballet recital. Even Papa, when he was alive, he'd just surprise us that he's back home so he can attend even just 1 out of 4 recognition day. Showing up is definitely a love language Filipinos hold of utmost importance. Baby, that's why bus terminals, seaports, airports are all full and crowded during the Christmas and New Year's break, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Holy Week, All Souls and All Saints Day. During those celebrations in the transport terminals that I mentioned, you seldom see these Filipinos clutch a gift in hand because our elderly shaped us to be more presence oriented rather than presents centered. And memories always last longer than new toys, new clothes, new books, new stuff. I think that's why OFWs, immigrants, and those who live countries away from the Philippines would say, iba pa rin ang Paskong Pinoy or iba pa rin ang Selebrasyong Pinoy. Because all we need is food, beer, karaoke, and each one of our family members being present, even just through video call. That makes our night, that makes our day. So, I think what I want you besties to take away from this is how presence and time is something we should all remember to put above more than gifts or presents. I used to think my love language is gift giving because I do think my gifts through. I make sure I give a thoughtful gift. I write letters during Father's Day, write letters during Mother's Day, I write anniversary letters, love letters. In short, my gifts aren't the most expensive, but I always make sure they are thoughtful gifts. But then growing old, I realize you can throw away objects even when you don't mean to. When they get old or overused, when they don't work anymore, they're broken, you outgrew them. No matter how expensive they are, they will just remain as that objects. But you will always count how many birthdays were spent with a parent with you, how many recognition programs they attended, and how many Christmases you've spent complete as a family. I mentioned last episode that my papa died when I was 17, but I can count on my 10 fingers how many birthdays I had that he was there physically. But that I understood because he had to make the sacrifice for a better future for us. But still, if he could, I know that he would. He would definitely be there. This is probably why I value quality time as a love language. Time is something you definitely cannot buy, but also something extremely limited because you won't know when the last time is going to be. Kylo say I'm being pessimist, but I always argue that I'm rather realistic. If you say you'll make time next Christmas because your schedule just can't do it now, it just won't work right now, who are we to say that we will still be here next Christmas? I used to work with only one day off in a week. This was back then in 2023. And because my day offs is usually allotted for me to just become a potato, I'd spend it at home resting. Now, 2023, I tried to visit my Lola. I believe she was 90 or 91 that time, but work was just damn busy and damn demanding because that's the nature of that work. The last time I visited, I hadn't visited for 2 or 3 weeks. The last time I visited her, I was with my sister. I got her her favorite snack, her favorite merienda. It's the butter mamon from Red Ribbon. I know and I remember this is her favorite snack. Now, the last time in 2 or 3 weeks that I haven't visited, little did we know that that was going to be her last day. She died holding both my sister and I's hands, the granddaughters, or the apos, who practically grew up with her because she was the one who helped raise us a lot. Now, looking back at it, at least I was there, present, to be with her in her final moments, just as she was present in all of our milestones growing up. This is why I always argue that I'm not a pessimist, but rather a realist, because you'd never know when's the last time gonna be. There is no way of knowing. Thus, the quote seize the day, you only live once or you only die once, because you never really know. There is absolutely no way of knowing. So instead of making objects or presents the priority, it's always time to make you, your presence in each of your family members' life, the priority. Per usual, I am ending this episode with what I am grateful for. I am grateful for the Sensale family. My mama's side of the family is who I was more exposed to growing up because we used to live with our grandparents and proceeded to live next door to them. We used to have family dinners every Saturday evening at my grandparents' house, and it was one of the core memories of my life in the Philippines. I have 23 first cousins and at the moment 18 nephews and nieces from my first cousins. We are a big family. We are all close, and I'm just grateful for them all. Of course, no family is perfect. There will be drama, but at the end of the day, blood is always thicker than water. I am just grateful for the examples our elderly have set and the experiences that I have with my cousins. Truly, you cannot choose your family, and everybody has different personalities, different traits, and a different path to take. I'm just beyond grateful and extremely blessed that this family is where I grew up and this family raised me. Anyways, this has been Justice Savannah, serving you your brew of the day. Justice out.